Hello, my name is Dr. Peter Lynn. I'm a wellness chiropractor specializing in chronic metabolic and neurological health conditions. I've been in practice in Salem, Oregon since 1988. Most doctors treat a symptom of an organ, not the whole person. Our patients are treated metabolically and neurologically. So, cholesterol is a symptom of a problem that I want to talk to you about. All these chronic conditions have several things in common. Number one, it's an oxygen deprivation. Your tissues are deficient in oxygen content. So we measure that. Imbalances in blood sugar and dysregulation, that is a real cause and concern for cholesterol levels and high triglycerides. So what I'm getting at is, if you understand how your body functions, you can appreciate how it can break down, and then you know how it can be fixed. Treating symptoms such as high cholesterol with medication is like putting air in a flat tire and never finding out why it's high, but keep putting air in over and over again. It just doesn't work, and after a while the body begins to shunt to other areas of dysfunction and dysregulation. So seeing high numbers in one area is a concern, but you've got to figure out why it's high. We want to look at different organs and glands that may not be functioning correctly. We want to look at your thyroid gland. It controls metabolism in the whole system, your whole body. You've got to understand what your numbers, your thyroid numbers in the lab tests mean. The other problem is, like I mentioned, blood sugar. If you've got hyper or hypo blood glucose, that's a problem for fatty acids and cholesterol, triglycerides. Normally, blood sugar is disposed of through insulin, which takes the glucose to every cell in your body. If there's too much sugar, or if you get insulin resistance where the cells are not accepting the sugar, you have to shunt it to another pathway, and that's the fatty acids or lipogenesis pathway. That takes a tremendous amount of energy, and you don't get very much output from it. But it's a secondary mechanism, because the primary one, the blood sugar insulin pathway is being destructed, is being pathological. It has to run the other way. So you've got to do certain things to find out. Number one, you've got to do tests. You've got to find out what's going on. Well, the first test is a complete laboratory analysis. Not pathological ranges like you're used to, but functional ranges. In the past, you've had markers come back and they're normal, but what you need to know is that there's functional ranges that every marker falls into. So for example, they say the cholesterol should be below 200, but what if it's 50? Or what if it's 250? What's going on with your body? Not just that it's high or low, but what systems are breaking down that the numbers are way outside of pathological ranges. Again, I like to see a cholesterol between 150 and 200, but we're going to look at other markers along the way. We're going to look at your blood glucose, a fasting rate, to see what your blood sugars are doing, or your lactic dehydrogenase. These are all important in evaluating faulty cholesterol numbers. We look at things functionally. That's what you really need to understand. We're looking for breakdown and malfunction in multiple systems in your body to find the underlying cause before it turns pathological. So we're going to check multiple systems, such as your thyroid. We're going to do a complete thyroid panel, TSH, T4, T3, a complete metabolic panel, a lipid panel, not just cholesterol, but HDL, LDL, triglycerides. We're going to check your vitamin D levels. Those are related to fatty acids. A complete blood chemistry with differential to see what your white cells are doing. A sensitivity test, which is a DNA analysis of antigens that almost every person with a chronic condition has positive. A number of years ago, I wrote a book called Barren Harvest, and it's a novel on the subject of genetically modified foods. And boy, we've never seen these foods in the history of the world, and we're supposed to digest them and assimilate them. Our bodies are, I think, going to break down tremendously from the foods that we're getting in our food supply. They're destructive patterns. We want to run adrenal stress tests to see what your adrenal glands, if you've got too much adrenaline going on or cortisol levels are off. We can see the upsets in your system this way. What about your intestinal permeability? Is it good or not good? You have leaky gut? Are your foods being digested? We want to check neurotransmitters, run a neurotransmitter profile, see what the brain output is. We want to check hormone panels to see what the hormones are doing, because they're important, because if you have hormone imbalances, you've got symptoms like depression and fatigue, mental fogginess, mood swings, hot flashes, sweating attacks, weight gain, decreased physical stamina. These are functions that are not right, that really need to be addressed. Because see, we're looking for deal breakers, certain things that pathways and processes that need to be fixed before you can go on and fix the systems that follow, such as blood sugar. If you have high cholesterol or your fatty acids are off, most likely your blood sugar is going to be off, and that has to be addressed. Fatty acids, like I mentioned, is a number one priority. Anemias, if you have any type of anemia, that has to be addressed. Digestive and liver disorders, they have to be taken care of. If you have any autoimmunity, we want to understand what's affecting your whole health, but it has to be evaluated completely. We're past the days of, here, just try this and see what'll happen, or we hope it'll go down. We have to find out what's going on, and there's ways to do that today. So metabolic is one half of the equation. The other half is evaluating your nerve system, the functioning part of it. Your brain and nerve system need two things to survive: glucose and oxygen. If these are faulty, your brain is faulty, and the rest of your body suffers. So we've got to test you neurologically. Some of these tests include oxygen deprivation, heart rate and rhythm, reflexes, eye test, optokinetics, cranial nerve test, cerebellum. You see, the spinal cord carries energy from the brain throughout the rest of your spine like a river to all the cells, organs, and tissues in the body. Every cell is dependent on this energy to stay alive and healthy. If you don't have the correct input into the brain that we're going to test, you don't have the correct output into the rest of the body. So the brain is going to misfire. Some of the misfiring symptoms can cause depression, anxiety, loss of memory, a loss of sensation, irritability or anger, balance disorders, dizziness, these kinds of things. So for example, like peripheral neuropathy is caused by insulin resistance. Well, you've got to go back to the insulin resistance and fix that, and then the symptom of peripheral neuropathy will get better. It's a fuel supply problem. It's not a lack of a drug problem. To fix it, you have to diagnose it by being thorough in the examination. What part of the brain, if any, needs help? You have to test it neurologically. What part of the metabolic system needs help? You have to test it metabolically and check the functional ranges, not the pathological ranges. You've got to test thyroid and blood sugar and fatty acids. You see, once that's done, then you can fix these metabolically and neurologically, functionally. So some of these metabolic protocols, once we find out what's going on, they're going to be complete, customized programs of vitamins, minerals, supplements, things that you probably don't have in your diet, which we're going to change too. We're going to customize the nutritional program, such as what to eat, what not to eat, when to eat, how to eat. That's got to be overhauled for sure. We're going to do brain-based therapies. They are all neurologically based and clinically proven. They include exercise with oxygen. If you're low on oxygen, you've got to get it perfused into the system. We may do electrical stimulation to get the flow of the metabolism correct. We may do specific brain stimulations, input, such as olfactory, auditory, or visual input to correct the neurological faults. Eye exercise is all important as well. See, all health problems are a combination of causes. Most health problems are syndromes involving multiple systems. Correcting the brain misfiring and the metabolic dysfunction helps the body to reassemble itself back to health again. And retesting lets us know we are on the right track with our treatment protocols, allowing us to make correctional changes along the way. We treat the whole person by striving to put all the pieces of the puzzle back together at the same time. So here's what to do. We begin with a 2-visit program. You call our office and schedule an appointment. You fill out the paperwork while you're waiting to get in and have it on my desk, and any recent lab work, like I'm sure you have, before you come in. Then on that first visit, I will go over your paperwork you've completed, and I'll look at it and I'll tell you what the functional imbalances are. I'll also do a functional neurological exam, and then you'll be dismissed for that first day. Then the second visit, I want you to bring somebody with you because I'm going to explain everything, and I find over the years, I've done this long enough to know that you hear what I'm saying, but once you leave, it's all garble. So I want you to bring somebody with you that can help you understand, because I'm going to go over what I found with your lab work, and I'm going to tell you if I am or am not able to accept your case. If your case is accepted, I'm going to tell you what the functional metabolic testing will be needed, what the preliminary neurological treatments will be, and the financial plans involved. It's important that we all understand what we're doing so you can get on the road to health, not just squish down numbers or bring them up for no reason, but help your systems improve. Now that you know there are answers for your health issues, once you ask yourself these questions, I do this on everybody. How has your health issue affected your job or your relationship or your finances? What's it cost you in time and money? Where do you picture yourself in the next 1 to 3 to 5 years if these issues aren't taken care of? And what's it worth to you if we could really get to the bottom of the problem and get you on the right track to health again? I hope you've understood what I'm talking about and how it be important into your life and impactful for your health. And I look forward to meeting with you soon. I'm Dr. Peter Lind. Hi, my name is Dr. Peter Lind. I'm a wellness chiropractor specializing in chronic metabolic and neurological health conditions. Today we're going to talk about GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, or just reflux. You see, most doctors treat a symptom or an organ, not the whole person. That's why you can't get rid of the problem. Our patients are treated metabolically and neurologically. You see, all chronic health conditions have several things in common, such as GERD or reflux. They have an oxygen deprivation, metabolic imbalances like blood sugar dysregulation, cortisol